Hi, and welcome back. I'm your host, Catherine, and today I want to talk about different tools that we can use when arguing with a narcissist, including gray rocking, yellow rocking, non-defensive responses, and the BIF method. So before we get into each of those, what they are and how to use them, I want to say that it's very, very important when you go into a conversation or argument, discussion with a narcissist that you have a one-track mind. You know what you're there to talk about, and you understand that the narcissist is going to do any single thing that they can to deflect, turn it around, and get you on the defensive and put them on the offensive. You're on the offensive. You're here with the information, okay? You have a one-track mind. So let's start with the gray rock method. Okay, so this will be used probably for the defensive. So if you want to use the gray rock method, it's as simple as pretending that you are as boring as a gray rock. The narcissist feeds on your emotional response and your reactiveness. It's what makes them feel like they have power and control over you. So when you withhold that emotional response, you become a gray rock and you suppress yourself emotionally. It, for some narcissists, doesn't give them the reaction that they want, and it bores them and gets them to walk away. So I would use this often in work settings or in public settings. Maybe you have a friend that's a narcissist or a friend in the friend group or a coworker at work. You don't want to be somebody that they come back to for that fuel. Okay, you want to gray rock them. When it comes to gray rocking in your personal relationship, be careful because some narcissists can get very angry and very violent. So just as a disclaimer, consider that. However, gray rocking can be appropriate within the context of a relationship too. It just depends what works, right? Similarly to that is yellow rocking. So yellow rocking isn't as much of a personality shut off as gray rocking. You can give a little bit more response, but not reactive. You don't want to get to the point where you're reacting to the things that you're saying. This kind of overlaps with non-defensive responses, so let's talk about that. Yellow rocking and non-defensive responses can be good when they're trying to switch it on you and put you on the defense. So an example of a non-defensive response that I like to use is a phrase something like this: "That's how you feel," or "That's your decision," or "You're choosing to interpret things that way." Now, before people jump out at me and say, "That's what they do, that's not healthy communication," I'm not here to teach you healthy communication, because healthy communication doesn't work with a narcissist. Healthy communication works with your healthy partner. So that's a whole different YouTube channel. When it comes to dealing with a toxic person, healthy communication does not work. Okay? Please understand this. You telling them, you pinpointing, "This behavior that you did made me feel this way," and doing the whole perception checking, "I feel when you blank," that doesn't work with a narcissist. That works with a healthy partner and a healthy dynamic. But when you try and use that type of communication style with a narcissist, all you're doing is opening yourself wide open and giving them all the tools that they need to continue to abuse you. They want to know what makes you tick. They want to know where you're insecure or where you're vulnerable, because that's where they can attack. We're not giving that to this person. We are here to protect ourselves psychologically. So, that being said, I'm going to continue speaking about non-defensive responses. If you want to argue with a narcissist, remain in a relationship with a narcissist, communicate with a narcissist, you're going to have to play their game or leave and go no contact. Okay? Healthy communication isn't going to work. You're not going to get them to communicate healthy. Okay, non-defensive responses. The narcissist comes at you and declares that they did this atrocious thing and that it's your fault. It's your fault that I'm doing this for XYZ. Non-defensive response. You're choosing to do that. You're choosing to look at it that way. I like to pick 3 and just recycle it. And it almost gets a little gray rock and yellow rock. If you go too many routes, you have too many responses, then we're just like in this circular argument. But when you just keep saying, "That's how you're choosing to see this. That's your decision to act that way. You're choosing to see it that way. You chose to act that way. You're choosing to see it that way. All right. Okay. Well, that's your decision. Well, you decided my words mean that. Well, and you just keep recycling those types of non-defensive statements. It's not, I agree that I'm the problem. And it's certainly not blaming them, because that's room for them to argue with. And we don't want to give them that room to argue. So instead, it's almost like an observational statement, like you're observing their delusional thoughts, right? You're not telling them that their thoughts are delusional, but you're just saying, those are your thoughts. Yeah, that was your behavior. That was your decision. Yeah, those are your thoughts. Yes, you did say that. Well, you're the one that, you probably have another partner because you didn't make it home in time, right? You had to stop for gas. So who were you meeting? You're choosing to see that way. I see that you believe that me stopping for gas means I'm cheating. I see that you believe that, right? So you're just observing what their delusional thought process is. And then they'll still continue to try and blame it on you. So you're agreeing that's what you're doing. I hear that you believe that's true. I see that you believe that's true. So that's what a non-defensive response is. Now let's talk about the BIF method. So the BIF method is going to be really, really good for you in these kind of situations, but also especially if you're trying to co-parent with a narcissist and you're working through a whole custody battle or child support agreement, like you're in that period. The BIF method is going to be very valuable. When it comes to dealing with a narcissist in court, your lawyer is probably going to give you advice that you want to remain civil. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by fighting with this person or by going no contact or going completely silent, because then it seems like you're the difficult co-parent or you're the one that's not. So at the end of the day, always get a lawyer and always take their advice before mine or anyone else's on this platform, okay? Listen to what your lawyer has to say. But the BIF method stands for brief, informative, friendly, and firm. So this means that all communication with them follows along that. It's brief, you're not getting in the weeds, you're not arguing about your dating life when you're supposed to be talking about the children. It's brief. It's informative. The children will be picked up at 4. The children have practice at 6, whatever, right? Informative. Friendly, so you're not fighting, you're not being mean, you don't have to be over the top kind, right? But it's, hello, I'm just letting you know that I will be picking the children up at 6. That's brief, it's informative, it's friendly, but then you also want to remain firm. So this is where boundary setting comes in. I'll put out a video on boundaries, but boundary setting, short version, is in the enforcement. So if you say, this is what's happening, you have to be firm on that, okay? Don't let them bulldoze you. Do not let them run you over. So these are a few tools for you to use when it comes to arguing or dealing with a narcissist. But at the end of the day, the goal is protect your own emotional safety. And you want to avoid getting drawn into these emotionally draining arguments. With these tools in mind, you'll be better equipped to handle these difficult discussions and navigate through these difficult discussions that you have with the narcissist in your life. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.